Hi there, and welcome to the Cotswold Explorer. I'm Robin Shuckburgh, and we're exploring the wonderful region of the Cotswolds in southwest England. We've decided to revisit the centre of the region and find some hidden gems, places that are not quite so famous, but still just as beautiful. We're back in the little village of Oddington. Now, I know some of you will realise that we've been here before. We are so enamoured with this place, we thought we'd compile all the footage we've done and do a slightly more comprehensive look at this beautiful church. Come with me. Evans, our familiar travel companion, writes of this church. Shortly after leaving Addlestrop Bridge, we may digress half a mile as far as the old church of Oddington. This very interesting church now stands in solitary grandeur, hard by a coppice tenanted by rooks and quite deserted by the village, which long ago migrated up the hill to a spot nearer the common fields. Here a new church has been built, and except for an occasional funeral, the silence of the old church is seldom disturbed. We, who have purposely left our road to seek it out in its seclusion, may be counted among its disturbers. Happier, they who in an April stroll by the Evenlode through meadow and spinney, bright with marigolds and primroses, burst upon it unexpectedly and stand fettered by the sudden spell. There's nothing to mar the quiet beauty of chancel, nave, aisle and tower. Nothing but the cawing of the rooks to break the silence. That aisle, once the nave of a small Norman church of the common Cotswold type, received later the tower at its eastern end, and then, in the prosperous times of the early Edwards, the new nave and chancel arose, and ever since it has been but the side aisle of the larger church. What he didn't know, writing as he was in 1905, was that hidden under the whitewash on the north wall of the nave was one of the most complete depictions of the doom of mankind existing in this country today. It is wonderful to be back in this little church at Oddington, St Nicholas, hidden away in this little copse on the top of the hill, quite a long way from the village. It's great to revisit. The last time we came, we discovered this extraordinary wall painting, which was discovered in the early 20th century and then finally restored in the 1970s with the great help of the Pilgrim Trust. It's one of the most spectacular examples of the internal painting of churches that we've seen in the Cotswolds. And it was saved from the Reformation by the locals. This really is a treasure, and started me on this whole train of thought. On the north wall is a huge painting of the doom of mankind, which even in Pevsner, where normally what you get is pretty dry stuff about architectural details, the excitement comes through the text. It says, "On the blank north wall of the nave, the enormous early 15th century wall painting of the doom was whitewashed in the 16th century, exposed during a restoration of 1912 and cleaned by Eve Baker in 1969. Its position on the north wall is most unusual. The execution is accomplished and the grouping of the figures, especially in the upper section, effective and impressive." In this volume, that is praise indeed. I quote from the excellent leaflet in the church. "At the top centre of the painting is a figure of Jesus, flanked by apostles and saints, and below this are two angels sounding a trumpet to awaken the dead. The bottom of the image shows the dead rising from their graves to be judged. Some are awaiting admittance to the gates of heaven, while others are being dragged into hell, where the fearsome figure of Satan, surrounded with his imps, awaits them. It is a truly remarkable survivor from medieval times, and is, most certainly, my gem of the month. The whole of this church shows evidence of its early decorations, and it's possible that there's even more to find in the future. There is a 14th century piece in the chapel below the tower, and several original decorations in the niches and on the finials. The lengths the people of this village went to protect the paintings from the iconoclastic age were exceptional, and it gives us a real insight into how different were our little churches before the Reformation. I love this little place, and return often. It survives now entirely from donations from the public, so please visit and leave a coin or two in the box. I do love this place. I hope you've enjoyed it too. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You can find us on all the normal platforms, and we will see you again in the very near future.